network. If they screw around and go on strike, a bunch of those star players could go to Unrivaled and they could start their own league. Devisa Collier and Brianna Stewart found Unrivaled in a unique format. The players were not only signed onto teams but also elected in the league, which meant they benefited from the profits. Unlike Situation W, several former NBA players predicted that the female basketball players who were in Unrivaled are going into CBA negotiations guns loaded, warning that wanting similar profit sharing in the league's success. The very success owed to superstars like Caitlin Clark, Age Wilson, Angel Reese. What the fuck has Cameron Brink done?
Charles Barkley recently joined The Rich Eisen Show to discuss issues surrounding the WNBA's ongoing collective bargaining talks. The Hall of Famer was candid about how some choices made by star players could influence the league's future. In his discussion with Eisen, Barkley pointed out a particular concern related to one of his favorite players.
What you did for our team was just incredible, so couldn't be more happy for you, couldn't be more lucky to be your teammate, and I hope it's that way for many more years to come. Proud of you.
Congratulations, Kels. There's no one more deserving. I was about
to say, I was like, this is going to take a while, but I'm like, oh no, it's going to take so long because there's like 27 players on the Indiana Fever. It's going to be every player that ever suited up for the Fever except for, the quitter.
proud of you. Love you. Bye.
Kels, first team all WNBA.
Barkley expressed high regard for Nafisa Collier, even sharing his disappointment that she didn't win the MVP. At the same time, he raised concerns about her position as co-owner of Unrivaled, the new women's basketball venture. The former NBA star cautioned that if labor disputes result in a work stoppage, top players might move to Unrivaled and start their own league.
Brink done for the growth of the WNBA. And Paige Beckers, with Caitlin, Angel, and Cameron injured this season. The fuck has Cameron Brink done? I'm sorry. That's like saying Hailey Van Lith is responsible for it. I know Cameron Brink's better than Hailey Van Lith, but neither of them have done anything in the WNBA. You gotta understand one thing about these negotiations, and I've been in these negotiations. The stars aren't the same as regular players. Let's get that out of the way. The stars are the ones who drive the league, but most of the rank and file are regular good players.
Collier, together with Brianna Stewart, launched an alternative league with a unique model where players not only join teams, but also hold ownership stakes, allowing them to benefit from the league's financial success. This is a major departure from traditional setups, where athletes earn only salaries. Several retired NBA stars have suggested that women's basketball players involved with Unrivaled have considerable leverage in CBA negotiations and could push for similar revenue-sharing deals. The league's recent surge, largely driven by stars like Caitlin Clark, A.A. Wilson, and Angel Reese, strengthens these players' bargaining power. One debatable point raised in the discussion credited Cameron Brink with the league's growth, which seems exaggerated, akin to claiming Hailey Van Lith was solely responsible for expansion.
Just Kelsey? But no, they've done it for Aaliyah as well. Shout out Fever.
Kelsey, Kelsey, Kelsey. I don't think anybody is surprised. You are more than deserving. We love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I think this is the tip of the iceberg for you. There's so much more in your tank. And I'm just so proud to be right there by your side. Congratulations. Mwah. Love you.
Congrats, Kelsey. First team all WNBA. I am so happy for you. I am so proud of you. You have worked your butt off and you deserve your flowers all the time. I'm so happy that you're receiving them. Congrats, Kels.
Kelsey.
While Brink has achieved more than Van Lith, neither has significantly impacted the WNBA in a major way. Barkley highlighted an important point often missed in labor talks. Elite players function differently from regular roster members. Superstars drive audience interest and revenue, whereas most of the league is made up of competent players who aren't widely known. This dynamic creates challenges when negotiating compensation. Barkley's main concern is the fate of these expendable players if a work stoppage occurs. In the event of a strike, nothing would stop stars like Wilson, Collier, Clark, and others from moving to Unrivaled full-time.
This is where he worries for the expendable players. If the WNBA went on strike and all the Ages, Nafisa's already down there, Caitlin, all those went to Unrivaled, they could start their own league with their own equity and make 3 times the money they're making right now. Now that would screw all the other players in the WNBA. Charles Barkley must protect the other players. He's very familiar with superstars and lockouts. He was one of the superstars in the year with Jordan, Larry, Magic, and Shaq. And one of the things we know from Charles Barkley is he literally won't be in 2K because he doesn't believe 2K are...
These players could potentially create their own league with ownership stakes, possibly tripling their current earnings. Such a development would be devastating for the rest of the WNBA players who don't have similar opportunities. Barkley's viewpoint carries weight because of his own experience. He played alongside legends like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal, and dealt with labor disputes firsthand. His credibility on these issues goes beyond words. For instance, he has even declined payment from the NBA 2K video game series, believing that retired players are not fairly compensated.
I believe 2K are doing a good enough job with the retired players. So Charles Barkley has refused money from 2K because he doesn't think the 2K do a good enough job with the NBA. So I do think that Charles Barkley has put his money where his mouth is. So this is not just him chatting shit. Like, he's actually put his money where his mouth is in situations like this in the past. So yeah, I think there's of all people to question, whether or not they're fully into this.
Barkley has literally turned down money on principle, showing a genuine commitment to protecting those with less bargaining power. When people question whether he truly stands by his statements, his history speaks for itself. He consistently backs his words with action. In the WNBA, many rank-and-file players earn far less than even the smallest NBA contracts, while stars like Clark, Reese, and Paige Becker secure enormous endorsement deals. Clark, for example, landing a historic deal with Wilson Sporting Goods. These disparities create complex dynamics as union representatives, such as Nneka Owick, negotiate with Commissioner Cathy Engelbert.
Into this, fully invested, or they fully believe what they're saying. I think Charles Barkley's one of those. He says here, there are loads of rank and file players in WNBA, while Caitlin, Angel, and Paige's salaries are nowhere close to the smallest NBA contract. They have major deals, like Clark's historic deal with Wilson. Chuck's side player fee is wage war in the WNBA, as wage war in WNBA's Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Says hopefully the agreement gets done in time to make sense. I don't think anyone wants to see a lockout, she told ESPN. It's not something we're advocating for. We just want to make sure that this deal is done the right way.
She publicly expressed her hope that a deal is reached quickly, telling ESPN that no one truly wants a work stoppage. She emphasized that the players aren't pushing for a strike. They simply want thorough negotiations to achieve mutually acceptable terms. However, an opposing view suggests that some parties might actually see a lockout as advantageous. The idea is that if play stops, the league could impose restrictions preventing players from competing in outside leagues. While these wouldn't necessarily be strict non-compete clauses, they could significantly limit participation in alternative competitions.
We're advocating for. We just want to make sure that this deal is done the right way, using whatever time it takes us to have both sides agree on something. Nneka Owick obviously stepping in and saying that, and saying here, I don't think anyone wants to see a lockout. I think there are people that want to see a lockout. Unpopular opinion is I think there are people that want to see a lockout, because I think there's a good chance that there will be not some form of and maybe not exactly like a non-compete where you're not allowed to play for anyone else, but very much.
Barkley voiced a legitimate concern about whether launching a separate league benefits all players or only the top stars. He is one of the few who can cite real examples from history of advocating for lower-tier players, both past and present, ensuring fair treatment for everyone. He has even accepted reduced pay or refused money altogether for these very reasons. His argument is strong, even if it might not ultimately decide the outcome.
Where you're not allowed to play for anyone else, but very much restrictions on playing in outside leagues. There's going to be restrictions. But yeah, it says here, obviously we all know when it ends. We've talked enough about the CBA. But it is interesting, Charles Barkley, he did make a good point, in fairness. Basically said, well, if he's going to start your own league, sure, it benefits you, but what about the rest of them? And Charles is somebody,
Barkley emphasized that while unrivaled might benefit top stars during a lockout, it does little for the rest of the WNBA players. Equity stakes favor founding players, meaning new additions could dilute value, creating conflicts of interest. Even if salaries rise, overall league health and accessibility remain crucial. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever celebrated Kelsey Mitchell making first-team All-WNBA and Aaliyah Boston earning second-team honors. Teammates and fans praised their hard work, acknowledging Mitchell's relentless effort and long overdue recognition. Caitlin Clark also congratulated Mitchell, highlighting her outstanding contributions this season.